The dispute between Russia and Ukraine is deepening. There is a war-like situation between the two countries due to the deployment of lakhs of soldiers. The US says that Russian troops can attack Ukraine at any time. If there is a war between Russia and Ukraine, it will not be just a war between two countries. America and NATO member countries will definitely come forward to help Ukraine. If this happens, then China can directly come forward to help Russia. In such a situation, no one can stop it from becoming a world war. There is certainly a mega war going on between Russia and Ukraine. NATO member countries and America are also exercising military pressure, not diplomatic, to avert this war. He said that the preparation for the Great War is to avert a great war. NATO and the US are showing that Ukraine is not alone in the face of war. That's why he is putting this type of pressure on Russia. He said that no country is in a state of war during the corona epidemic. He said that the problem is that there is no diplomatic solution to the dispute between Russia and Ukraine. In such a situation, under military strategy, NATO and America are trying to avert this war. Actually, the dispute between Ukraine and Russia is not fresh. Until the 1990s, Ukraine was a major part of the former Soviet Union. After the dissolution of the Soviet Union, both Ukraine and Russia became sovereign states. This was the period of the Cold War. During this time, the tension between the Soviet Union and America was at its peak. After the dissolution of the Soviet Union, the states separated from it accepted their independent foreign policy. However, even after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, relations between Russia and America were not very cordial. There was a strain in relations between the two countries. On the other hand, the independent states adjacent to Europe came closer to the Western countries and America. Russia did not like the proximity of European countries and America to the states that became independent from the Soviet Union. Ukraine came closer to the European Union after independence. Ukraine's proximity to the EU never bothered Russia. Not only this, since 2014, Ukraine wants to become a member of the US-led military organization NATO. The proximity of NATO and Ukraine added to Russia's concern. Russia never wants NATO to have access to its borders. Russia is also angry that, due to Ukraine, US military and NATO member countries are reaching its border. The special thing is that Ukraine and Russia meet each other, so the movement of NATO and America on the border is a threat to Russia's security. He has said that Russia will not back down from war with Ukraine whenever its security is threatened. However, Russia has repeatedly claimed that it will not attack Ukraine. On the other hand, on the basis of US intelligence report, it is being said that by the end of January Russia can attack Ukraine. This suspicion is not unwarranted, as evidenced by the way Russian troops are gathering on the border of Ukraine and Russia. It is being claimed in many reports that about 1 lakh soldiers are stationed on the border. Let us tell you that NATO, a military organization of 30 countries, said that it is increasing its presence in the Baltic Sea region. With this, many members of NATO have started sending their troops and equipment. Denmark is sending a warship to the Baltic Sea. In addition, Denmark is deploying F-16 warplanes in Lithuania. At the same time, Spain is sending its ships to give strength to NATO's maritime force. Spain is also considering sending its fighter aircraft to Bulgaria. On the other hand, France is ready to send troops to Bulgaria. NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg issued a statement saying that NATO will protect all its alliance partners. For this, he will take all necessary steps. At the same time, according to the report of the news agency AFP, the Kremlin says that the deployment of NATO will serve to increase the standoff